All right, good evening, everyone. We're going to be starting the November 5th meeting of the Inlands, Wetlands, and Watercourses Commission. I'm going to ask Mr. Loria to lead us in the pledge. Mr. Chin, flag.
Here you go. Oh, there we go. Should I say everybody please rise now?
No.
Okay, here we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag
United
States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That
A
was
little
terrible.
latency in there.
All right, I'm going to ask our attorney, Jim Cordone, to give us the legal aspects of the Zoom meeting.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name's James Cordone, for the record, one of the town attorneys. Today is November 5th, 2020, and the regular meeting of the Trumbull Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Commission. This meeting is being conducted pursuant to the Governor's Executive Orders 7B and 7I, and is being conducted by video conference and teleconference over the internet and/or the telephone. The public may comment during the public comment section of the meeting, either by Zoom or by teleconference by electronically raising your hand. Further instructions will be provided at that time. Please note that the posting of comments on Facebook Live or any other online format will not be included in the record, and the commission will not see those comments. The agenda for this meeting was posted 24 hours in advance of the meeting on the Trumbull Town website, along with all of the application materials. I would ask all commissioners and all participants to remember to kindly identify yourself before speaking for the benefit of those who might be listening only by telephone. And I would like to advise everyone that the general public, everyone, including the general public, that this meeting is being recorded. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you, Attorney Cordone. I'm going to ask our clerk, Colleen, to do a roll call.
Richard Gerard,
Here.
John Loria,
Here.
Jim Bova,
Here.
Tatiana Solovey,
Here.
Richard Deacon,
Present.
Mark McKeel,
Here.
Laura Cooley,
She is absent tonight. She's not coming.
Carmine DeFeo,
Here.
Tony Silver,
Here.
Gillespie,
Here.
James Cordone.
All right. Okay, we're going to open new business. We'll go to application 20-58. It's for Shirley and Stanley Connect. It's a permit approval to remove gravel and asphalt drive, loam and seed distributed or disturbed land within a regulated area at 101 Monroe Turnpike. I understand David Bjorklund would be doing the presentation. Is he on board?
Mr. Chairman, I'm bringing Mr. Bjorklund in. She has a.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a comment before David starts.
All right.
This is
Identify
Carmine-
yourself.
This is Carmine DeFeo. You read that the applicant is Shirley and Stanley Connect. The signature at the bottom is a Richard L. Connect. He's not identified as how he's related to the owners. He signs it as the owner, but he's not listed as the applicant. And if David's going to be speaking, they also did not provide a signature authorizing him to speak on the application.
All right, let me go to Tatiana. Do you have anything on that, Tatiana?
I don't know if Stanley or Connect is Richard Connect, but maybe David could enlighten us. I have been working with the applicant's attorney, who is also present, so maybe he can provide the ownership clarity.
So he's
that
on
would
board
be-
also? What is
that
his
would-
name? We'll see if we can get him on board to
Tom
explain
Brennan.
this. Do you have his name, Tatiana?
Tom Brennan.
All right,
Mr. Brennan is on his way in.
all right.
Mr.
Yeah,
Chairman, this is a violation, but it's not listed so on the agenda. I just wanted to confirm this is a reaction to a notice of violation on this property.
Right.
Hello, this is Attorney Brennan. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hi, I can address those concerns about the names on the application. The owners of 101 Monroe Turnpike, the property at issue, it's actually a trust. It's the Shirley B. and Stanley R. Connect Trust, of which Richard L. Connect is a trustee. And that is readily apparent if you look at the field card as a shorthand. You can see that the trust does own this property, and that also Richard L. Connect is listed as a trustee. So he is appropriately the signatory on this application. And I do know that he does authorize, that Richard does authorize David Bjorklund to speak on his behalf tonight to present the request that the application for the permit be granted.
Attorney Cordone, does that meet the criteria? Are we good?
Yes, this is Attorney Cordone. Thank you, Attorney Brennan. I think it's pretty straightforward that the applicant tonight here has authorized those individuals who are presenting on their behalf to speak. So I believe we can proceed. Thank you.
Thank
Right,
you.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Bjorklund.
Yes, Mr. Gerard, thank you. My name's Dave Bjorklund. I'm president of the firm of Spath Bjorklund Associates. We have offices in Monroe, and I'm a professional engineer registered in the state of Connecticut. This was stated correctly. This is an application to cover a violation. For those of you, the members of the commission that aren't familiar with it, this is an area of land that is located behind the Connect gas station and car wash. And for years, it had been utilized as a construction yard for processing of materials. And that was on the south side of the property. The north side of the property had been used as a firewood processing facility. When the owners were made aware of this, that it was a violation, Tatiana made them aware of that. They quickly moved to get both of the tenants off of the property and restore the property. So what we have, as we sit here today, we have a violation, but since I've been aware of the violation that started when I first saw the property last July, both pieces of property have been entirely cleaned up. On the south side of the property, there's a good grass cover that's been established. There's no erosion issues. And on the north side of the property, the grass was planted a little later. We had a really dry summer, and it was hard to get it established, but that area has also all been cleaned up. All the excess firewood debris, etc., has been removed. And the site, by the time we look at it in the spring, the site will be totally, restored and stabilized. For instance, we show silt fence being installed on our site plan. After looking at some pictures of the site the other day, that's not going to be necessary. There's also a good woodland area that was allowed to remain between the edge of the wetlands and the watercourse. And so there's no impact on the wetlands or watercourses as a result of this violation and the restabilization of the area. I'll be glad to answer any questions that anyone may have.
All right, before we ask the commissioners, do you have a quick overview, Tatiana?
Well, I can just second what David said, that it has started as a violation. The property owner has been very cooperative. They had to deal with eviction of tenants, but as soon as it was possible, they restored the property. I have not been there lately, but it sounds like it has been seeded, so I have no comments.
All right. Thank you.
Through the chair?
Anybody from the commission wishes to address this?
Yes, I'd like to ask a question, Richard, about
Okay, John Loria, go ahead.
maybe Tatiana could answer. Has any of the wetlands been filled with this violation, or is it just upland issues here?
I believe it's just upland review area, but David can probably confirm that.
Yes, Commissioner Loria, it's only the upland areas that have been impacted. There's no direct impact on the wetlands or water courses.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else from the commission?
Are there
Alright.
any, this is David Varespi.
Go ahead, David.
I am trying to pull up the information on the application. But are there any plantings intended beyond the grass to stabilize the area? I know there's a stream that goes through there near the culvert. Are there any plantings to go between the lawn area and the wetlands area?
Dave Bjorklund for the applicant. Dave, as I was thinking about this meeting tonight, I said, Dave Varespi is going to want to know about some plantings. We've been working together.
Am I that predictable?
We've been working together way too long. No, we hadn't proposed any plantings. What the Connect family would like to do is to turn this into a development proposal. And the exact extent of the development proposal is not known at this point in time, but I was retained by the family to, number one, take care of the violation, and number two, take care of a future development proposal. So I don't want to propose any plantings at this point in time. What I'd like to do is propose those plantings when we come back in and see you in hopefully the near term with a development plan of the entire property. There's a good woodland buffer between the wetlands and the area that has been disturbed. If you look at the plan that we submitted, you know, the wetlands are not threatened and there is no erosion. So my suggestion would be, let's hold that off to another day.
I understand that, but if those plans for future development get derailed or decide not to happen, then some accommodation needs to be provided for. And I'm happy continuing this discussion to see how we want to handle that. But that's good for now.
Through the chair, just a quick question, if I
Go
may.
ahead, John Loria.
David, do you know how you're going to access this property once it's developed? Are you coming in from Monroe Turnpike or from Spring Hill Road?
We don't know that right now, but I find it hard to believe that we would be coming into this portion of the Connect property from Spring Hill Road. The change in topography is just severe. There's an existing driveway with a culvert that crosses the wetland watercourse network that comes in off of 111. It's been there for years. This property this is not a new use of the property.
Okay.
You can see there's a building on the property. There's been a house on this property since my guess would be the 40s. So.
Okay, good information though when we go out and look at it probably. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Through the chair.
Go ahead, Richard Deacon.
Thank you. Mr. Bjorklund, just a question. I see that there was an operation running out there, evidently of firewood processing and other materials. Is that business or operation going to continue under the application as you submit?
No, they're both operations, the construction company and the firewood, they were evicted once the violation was served on the connects. They're
Okay.
out of there and they're not coming back.
Okay. And is there any significant amount of waste from those operations that needs to be cleaned up?
No, it's all been cleaned up.
Okay.
If you saw the property prior and you saw it now, which Tatiana has seen it, it's all cleaned up.
Okay. And one other thing, you mentioned there was a dwelling on that property. Is that inhabited?
No, it's not inhabited.
Okay. That's all. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Through the chair.
Go ahead, Carmine.
David, that residence, it doesn't appear to be on this plan. Can you approximate where that is?
As you look at the plan, there's a building denoted on the north side of or to the right side of the map. I'm not sure what you're looking at, Carmine.
Yeah, so it's the one that's marked building?
Yes.
That's the residence, okay.
Right.
The other question, this violation actually occurred over a year ago, correct?
I became aware of it last spring.
Okay, Tatiana, the letter that's in this application that you've included, it's dated October of 2019. That's when the violation was filed?
That's correct.
And that violation references 117 Monroe Turnpike. This is 101. David, can you clarify how 117 is related to 101?
No, I can't.
So
I
I can probably clarify that the property in the front is 117 and the official town addresses don't always coincide with addresses that are on file with US Postal Service. This is a vacant lot, technically. There's not a residence that anyone is using. So the address may have been different from what the property owner is using that we referenced on our letter. But both parcels are owned by the same owner. So, and it's not a question as to which property, we issued a violation for and which property the application is submitted for. It's definitely the same parcel.
I would agree, Dave Bjorklund, I would agree with Tatiana on that. Yeah, the assessor's records and postal records can be different in as to where tax bills are sent. I'm not quibbling that this is the site of the violation.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions from the commission?
Through the chair, it's Mark McKeel.
Good.
So I do recall we did view this site from a distance a couple of years ago when they were applying for the small office building to the northeast of this property. And we made mention at that time, we saw the firewood company going on, the residence, and it was just a mess back there. Just driving by with the leaves falling, you can tell, as Mr. Bjorklund said, that the area has been cleaned up tremendously. So they have made some progress on that. But I do recall, I don't know if any of the other commissioners remember on our walk, we all made mention of the mess that was back there and running into the stream. So kudos to them for at least getting it cleaned up a little bit too.
All right, anybody else wishes to address this? All right, we're good, Attorney Brendan, or Brendan is muted. You're good, Mr. Bjorklund?
I'm
Yes.
fine, by the way. This is Attorney Tom.
As I said, this is a violation that has a very nice ending. The property owners evicted the tenants and cleaned it up. And
All right.
thank you for your consideration.
All right, thank you. All right. Let's see. Okay, we're going to move on to application 20-63. It's David Pooler and Laura Elizabeth Cambaria, I believe, and it's a permit approval to install an in-ground pool, patio, retaining walls, fence, and for 2 previously removed trees within a regulated area at 626 Booth Hill Road. Is there an applicant here to speak for this?
It's a David Pooler, Bill.
Yep, Mr. Chairman, I'll bring him in.
Thank you. Meanwhile, in the background, I don't know why, but I have somebody shooting off fireworks, so,
Hello, can you guys hear me?
yes.
Yes.
Good evening. How's it going?
Okay. Please identify yourself and give your address.
David Pooler, 626 Booth Hill Road, Trumbull, 06611.
All right, if you can give us a quick overview.
Sure. Looking to install a in-ground pool in the backyard. Have the patio on the plan. Patio should be under 400 square feet. With the fence and the retaining wall. I also have Dean Pushlar, who's the landscape architect on the plan on the call too. So he'll be able to answer more questions with me as we go through.
All right. Tatiana, did you have any comments before we go to the commission?
I just wanted to ask if there is a reason why the stockpile is, where's the north arrow here, is on the south side of the pool. It's in the flood zone, and unless it's reused at the site, it would probably be better off by locating it closer to the construction entrance. So I guess the first question is it gonna be hauled off site? The excavated material?
Yes, that's the plan, and Dean can confirm. But yeah, the plan is it'll be hauled offsite.
Okay, so I think the stockpile should be relocated outside of the flood zone. Will be easier for you to remove it anyways. Another question I have, do you know where the roof leaders are connected to the existing detention galleys? Because we see the box for the galleys, but I'm not sure how the roof leaders are routed.
Yeah, so the gutters basically come down, and then they go down into a pipe in the ground that leads back to the galleys from there.
So I understand that, but I guess my question is, where are the lines underground? So,
That I don't know offhand.
okay, so if during pool excavation you run across roof leaders, they obviously can't be capped. They would have to be rerouted, and
Yep.
you'd have to make sure they're still connected to the galleys.
For sure.
And then I think we discussed the pool equipment, so it's also in a flood zone, but you'll raise it above the base flood elevation.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I think these are all the questions that I had, and you had mentioned that the patio is going to be less than 400 square feet, so if it's more, then compliance with stormwater policy will be required.
Yep.
That's all I have, Richard.
All right, thank you. Love this plan, the way it's conceptually done with the color. It jumps out and easy to read. Did you wish to have Mr. Pushlar address this now?
Yep, that would be helpful.
All right.
Real quick question though, have the wetlands been flagged?
And Dean, you're on mute.
Dean, unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Dean Pushler. I'm a licensed landscape architect. I'm consulting with David on this pool project.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but company and address?
Yeah, the name of the company is my name, Dean Pushler, landscape architect. I'm at 13 Kimberly Drive in Brookfield, Connecticut.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. So when the house was built, or prior to the house being built, the wetlands were flagged by Cynthia Rubinowitz. I believe her soils report is in the file. So we didn't resubmit it. It was part of the original application for the construction of the house. So there is wetland flag. It was dated 2002.
Right now, though, right? You're going. The flags from 2002 are not still in the field, are they?
Correct. So they were surveyed by the surveyor. So they're basically brought right on the plan. So they're not in the field.
Okay.
Tatiana, do we have access to the wetlands plan?
Yes, we have it on file, like Dean said, from 2002, and if commissioners would like, we can request hard copies prior to the next meeting.
All right.
Through the chair.
Go ahead, Carmine.
There's been reference to the floodplain. Do we have anything showing where that floodplain is? Because this drawing, I don't see where it's indicated.
So if you look at the plan, there's a line that goes through the house. Let me bring it up here. So it's a dashed line. It's gray in color.
Okay.
It goes
I
through
see
the lower right corner of the house and extends from the lower left to the upper right.
Okay, so it goes right through the pool.
Goes right through the
Into-
pool, into
Okay.
the wetlands, and then up towards the right-hand corner.
Okay, thank you.
So the
Through the chair.
majority of the house is in zone X. The pool area is in zone A.
All right,
And that
good.
pulled off the current flood maps from FEMA.
All right.
Through the chair.
Go ahead, David.
This is David Verespi. Dean, nice seeing you again. Plan
Yes.
looks very professional. Are there any plantings proposed for between the proposed development area and the border of the wetlands? Typically, the way we like to see a vegetated buffer between the edge of development and the wetlands limit line.
Right. So Dave, the lawn area basically defines the edge of the property. Is about where the silt fence is going. Beyond that, it's pretty heavily shrubbed, and there's trees. So there's really not much room to put shrubs there. There's plethora in there. I think from the original approvals, it's pretty heavily planted. If we would like, we could. There's that portion north of the pool that's currently lawn. We could introduce some plantings in that area, removing the lawn. I did speak to David Pooler about this, and he has agreed to eliminate portion of that lawn and introduce some plantings. So I'm happy to put together a plan for that.
I think the commission would like to see some plantings between the fence and the wetland limit line there as a buffer between the pool area and the wetlands.
Sure. I haven't talked to David about that. My only concern with that is in terms of access around the pool with machines and mowers and to access the site. I mean, I'm sure that's not the end of the world to cut that access off.
Is there access around the other side of the house, the south side of the house?
There is. But I'm just thinking the kids, running around the yard, they don't have to go into the front yard.
I hear you. I
It's just,
understand.
just better.
Okay. See what you can work out.
Sure.
So through the chair, this is John Loria.
Go ahead, John.
According to the map, we've got the edge of the wetlands, 13 feet 9 inches from the edge of the pool. How far is the fence from the wetlands?
I can measure on my computer right now.
It looks
but,
like about half the distance, maybe like 7 feet.
I would say 8 or 9, but yes, 7 feet's,
The other thing they find kind of strange is the wetland boundary is absolutely straight.
well, I think it was part of a big flagged area. So when Cynthia went out there, she probably put a few flags in the ground, and she probably just connected, or the surveyor just connected those flags. Typically you're right. You would see the flags closer together, but I think on this subdivision,
Even the wetland itself usually has some deviation with the topology or topography, I should say. Topography is the right word.
well, typically the surveyor, you're just connecting the flags.
Okay.
So that's how wetland flags are. That's how it's done. If the more flags there are, the more curvier that line is. So
Okay.
we're used to seeing that more curved line followed.
Oh, so the flags are 100 feet apart or more. Some of them.
Right behind the pool, yeah, those two flags are probably 60 feet apart. Yeah.
Okay, that explains that.
Yeah.
Question, is this staked? If we go out to walk this?
It is not staked as far as I know. David, you didn't stake the pool, correct?
I did not know.
Oh, we'd need the pool and the proposed patio, I believe.
Okay.
Anything else, John? You've been looking at the plan longer than I have. What else do we need?
Absolutely the four corners of the pool. And we can sort of work our way around from that if we have that orientation, but more stakes is more help too.
All right. Thank you, John. Any other commissioners wish
Through the
to
chair.
address this? Go ahead, Carmine.
I'm a little curious. According to the plan, it's showing that some of the existing lawn is actually into the wetland. Is that accurate?
Yes. Yeah, that is accurate.
I was not on the commission when these houses were built. That was authorized? Richard, Gerard, can you recall?
When was this built? What year?
2002, 2003, probably. That's where the wetlands were flagged. David?
The house, I think, was 09 was actually built.
09?
Yeah.
Was there inland wetlands permit drawn for this or? Because I don't remember reviewing it, but there's been so many.
These were the four houses I remember reading about it. There was, I believe it was Fracker.
It was Fracker, that's correct.
Clear cut all the property after he was told not to.
Well, let me just correct that, Carmine. That was under direction of the tree warden.
Okay.
So, I don't want to besmirch him, but that's what happened on that one.
Okay.
And that's why we've been keeping the trees and things inside our own commission. Tatiana, you'd be able to go back, right? Do you see anything?
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the permit number as we speak.
I remember this now. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is on
This
Bluefield Road. Yeah.
Yeah,
This
there were
was
four
pretty
houses,
extensive.
John.
Remember, John?
Oh yeah, I remember it pretty well. I want to go into it.
No, but originally, to go back to your comment, Carmine, we had him agree to do a phasing, and that's what he was going to do. And then our tree warden just said to cut everything down, so we were not pleased.
Like I said, I'd be happy to, and I've already discussed this with David about eliminating all or a portion of that grass that goes into the wetland and replanting it with a wetland seed mix, a tree and a bunch of, clethra, inkberry, to eliminate that lawn in the wetland, if that appeases the commission.
We'd have to have it kind of staked, right, David, to get an idea? Are you with me, David?
I'm here.
I'm saying we'd have to have it staked somehow to see what, what we're doing here.
It would be beneficial to have the wetland flags re-staked by a surveyor and have an idea of where the development is and stake out the improvements.
All right, well, let's have Tatiana get the original plans out and see what they showed. 'Cause this property also went up against the town property in the back, right, Tatiana?
Yeah, I actually pulled them up. The approval letter doesn't say anything about buffer plantings. It only has 2 conditions, and there's not much clarity as to what was supposed to be planted.
Yeah, that's why I walked out that night.
It's a pretty clear indentation into the woods when you're on site, which surprised me as well. Almost like they took some spoils to, I don't think they filled it, but there's definitely just a little bit of dip into the woods. You kind of see it on the plan. It's pretty obvious in the field. And I think that's what I would recommend. We eliminate the lawn and plant. There's some pretty significant boulders along that edge as well. I'm not sure if that was purposeful to define that edge of lawn, but there are some fairly large boulders in the woods there.
All right, well, when we walk it, we can, take a look. Are there any other questions from the commissioners? All right,
It's Mark McKeel through the chair.
good, Mark.
So for the homeowners benefit and for our benefit, are we staking the 4 corners of the pool or the 4 corners of the fence that's going to surround the pool?
Typically, we stake the pool.
The pool? Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Pooler, you're good?
All
Any
good
other
from-
comments?
All good from my side. I think just interested to see what we need to do for the plantings or whatever else is needed here.
All right, Mr. Pushlar, you good?
Yeah, everything seems good. I think I'd like to stake the pool, the patio. I think it's fairly easy to stake the 2 wetland flags that are essentially on the property. There's 3 that are actually on the property. So I think that's fairly straightforward.
All right. If there be no other discussion, then we'll move on to the next application. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I got one more comment though.
Oop, go ahead, John.
Thinking back to there must have been another survey beside Rabinowitz's survey, because I remember we didn't use that survey plan. So maybe you can take a look a little more for this, Tatiana, because I don't remember. Don't remember that wetland scientist coming before us. Okay.
Sure.
Just if you could take a look into it, because there was some discrepancies with her work and some other work on another project as well. So, and it was in the same area. Thank you.
All right.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Attorney Cordon.
It occurred to me that I know we're continuing one item later on. I don't know if we wanted to take that out of order in case people are waiting on that for that item.
All right,
I have
thank
to
you.
leave at 8 o'clock, just a reminder.
All right. All right, the application that Attorney Cordon is referring to, it's old business. It was application 20-25. It was Janine Norwood, and it was a permit approval to remove 20 hazardous trees within a regulated area at 198 Old Dyke Road. The applicant requested a continuance to next month. So when we get to old business, we'll handle it then, but the public that's listening in, you now know what's happening on that. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. All right, we're going to application 20-64. It's Joshua and Christina Buck. It's a permit approval to replace floating dock, add in kind sand to beach, add in kind rocks to walkway, and add additional electric run to existing circuit within a regulated area at 68 Old Dyke Road. And I see Mr. Buck is here to discuss it. If you can give your name and address, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, and Tatiana. I'm Josh Buck at 68 Old Dyke Road in Trumbull, Connecticut, 06611, and happy here to discuss what we're trying to do.
All right.
Yeah, quick overview, Mr. Chairman, you already gave it. I mean, we're looking to, I believe you all have the packet. You replace the floating dock that exists. I think the brand of that floating dock is something, I think it's called Easy Dock, but replace that with a more, sturdy structure similar to actually our neighbor next door, with a, some pillars and a wooden dock into the lake is really the primary reason. And then the other items that we're looking to do is if I can get some lighting, there's already an existing flagpole near the beach that I'd like to get fixed and put a flag up and get some lighting to it. And then just want to make sure it's good. I want to, put a little bit more sand on the beach that's already existing. And then also just add more blue and white rock. I found with the previous owner, it's at Pond Spring Nurseries up the road on Monroe Turnpike. And just basically, just in kind, add some more sand and rocks in the area.
All right, I'm going to ask Tatiana to give us an overview because I know you've been working with the applicant.
Sure. So the amount of disturbance is really so minimal that I would recommend that the commission approves it for administrative processing. Would certainly include any conditions should you require any, but I don't believe this is needed to go for another month. The dock definitely needs to be replaced and the lake is down right now, so it would be certainly a good time to accommodate this project, and the impact to wetlands is just so minimal that I'd highly recommend administrative approval.
All right.
I could
Any
make a
other
motion for-
thoughts?
Yeah.
Do we have any comments?
It seems pretty straightforward. I don't see any objection to letting this go to administrative approval.
All right, so when we go to work session, we'll consider that then. So if there be no objection, we'll move to the next application. All right, good evening, Mr. Buck.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
All right, application 20-65. It's Michael and Kristen Egmont, rather. It's a permit approval for a pool deck, patio grading, removal of 2 trees and landscaping within a regulated area at 15 Hemlock Trail.
Through the chair, before we continue, is this a public for the prior application?
I didn't hear you. What?
Was the prior application a public hearing?
No, no.
Oh.
Okay, because I don't know what the procedure is for handling online questions.
Only if it's a public hearing.
Okay,
right, Attorney Cordone?
Correct. This is not a public hearing. There's no public comment on this.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there, I see the applicant here.
Hi, how are
Good
you?
evening. Give
Hi,
your
I'm
name and your address, please.
Michael Egmont, live at 15 Hemlock Trail in Trumbull. Previously lived in 51 Bonneview. We are, I'm sorry, would you like me to continue, give a summary of the?
No, just give a quick overview and,
Sure. I think it hopefully is straightforward. We put in a patio, a pool earlier this summer, and this is how we designed the patio to be around the pool, on the property. So we, I think we did so very diligently, tried to put the plans together carefully, with all considerations. And you should have, I did 12 packages, so you should have, each of you have the survey that we had done for the property, as well as we have a landscape architect. Earl should also be on the call possibly if you have any very technical questions, but we did put in a detailed plan for how the grade and how the water mitigation would occur.
Tatiana, you want to give a quick overview?
Sure, thank you. So the survey that we received, the hard copy, is actually reduced. We'll definitely need at least 2 full-size surveys for the file. I don't know if any of the commissioners would like that prior to the next meeting. So that's item number 1. Item number 2, so from the engineering perspective and stormwater, it is a permeable patio. However, we do need to see a maintenance plan submitted as part of this application, because if those trench drains are not maintained on regular basis, then the whole patio will act as impervious and it's going to defeat the whole purpose. And another item is we will need a certification letter by a licensed professional engineer upon completion of the project that would state that the patio has been constructed as proposed, that it's acting as permeable, and that it does not have any negative impact on the subject property or abutting properties. So these are all the items I had. And I believe Earl raised his hand. He's here to represent the applicant, so maybe Bill, we could bring him in.
Okay, Mr. Governor is on his way in.
You're muted.
Hello.
Good evening, Mr. Govan. Please give your name and business and address.
My name is Earl Govan. I'm a landscape architect with Blade and Govan in Fairfield, Connecticut, PO Box 1581, 06825.
All right.
So just to give you a little overview, there is a pool that was previously permitted. So this application is for the pool patio and for the removal of 2 trees that were previously removed. The pool patio is designed to be totally permeable. We did have an engineer look at the design and did write us a letter that states that, if it is built as designed, that it will act as a permeable pavement and will not have any effect on the neighboring property. The grading is really just associated with the pool itself and the lower patio. We've actually terraced the patio to step down the grade slightly from the house down. The pavement area is replacing a lawn which was sloped down towards the lake, Pinewood Lake. So we're actually probably shedding less water now than we were previously by the use of the infiltration. We have detailed that on SP3. We certainly be willing to have our engineer inspect the site during construction as well as afterwards to write the letter. So that at this point is where we are at this point in time. And I'd be happy to answer any questions anybody has.
And just if really quick, the engineer could provide that maintenance plan for the file, that'd be really appreciated.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. Comments, questions from the commission?
To the chair.
Go ahead, David.
Earl, this is a very nice looking plan, very professional. I appreciate that. Do you have any plantings proposed for between the fire pit area and the retaining wall or around the fire pit area?
Yeah, that
Or
we have
proposed plantings?
We have yet to prepare that, but there will be extensive plantings around the pool. It is replacing the lawn, and the lower patio is really meant to spill out into the lawn. However, the sides and the perimeter of the property will be heavily planted, especially the east side. The west side is pretty heavily planted at the moment. But the general area of the pool will be planted just with the small area of lawn that leads out from the lower patio. And we'd be certainly happy to provide that to you.
Wonderful. We'd love to see the proposed plantings. With regards to the maintenance plan, that would be great to have on the file. My experience with the permeable pavers is they work wonderfully. And since this isn't in a driveway area and is not going to be subject to salt or sand, it should perform very well over the long term with very little maintenance.
Yeah, we've had good luck with the large stone and the gradation of stone. And I think I think it'll work fine. It's the way it's set up a little higher than the area around it. It's set up perfectly for it.
John.
Thank you.
John, you want the four corners or the two corners of the pool? Do you want the fire pit? You think we should have that staked?
No, there's none of this has been constructed yet, to be clear, right?
The pool is in.
Okay, so we don't need to stake that, right?
Don't
No,
need to
I'm
stake
saying
that.
outside the patio. I'm sorry, not the pool, but staked out for the patio of the pool. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Right.
Okay.
But there is a silt fence out there now, which is in the general area of the fire pit. So there is silt fence currently out on the property, which is essentially the limit of the construction. But we could certainly stake that out, paint it out, whatever you like.
We're
Right, well, then
talking about the
I would
silt
imagine
fence
the
or
two corners then of the
fire pit?
deck.
No, I was saying that the silt fence is out in the property. That's kind of the perimeter. All of our disturbance is pretty much inside of that. So, but we would certainly be happy to lay that out. The fire pit and the patio, I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
All right. Any
Anything
other
else anyone else
questions?
needs?
No other questions from the commission? We're good? All right. Thank you, Mr. Govern, and thank you, Mr. Egmont.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Thanks very much.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay, I need a motion to close new business.
So moved.
I make
And
a
that was moved by,
I second that.
David. Okay, seconded. All in favor?
Well, you're gonna roll call?
Yep, I was gonna say, Colleen?
We could take a unanimous consent there. Just raise your
Okay.
hands for that.
All
and we
right.
can Confirm.
All right, and there are no abstentions, so it's unanimous. Thank you, Attorney Cordon. All right, let's go to old business, and that's application 20-25. As previously stated, Janine Norwood's the applicant. There was a permit approval to remove 20 hazardous trees within a regulated area at 198 Old Dyke Road. The applicants requested a continuance. Can I get a motion for that?
Through the chair, Mr. Chairman, can you please explain their reasoning behind the request?
Well, I'm going to give this over to Tatiana because she's been working with everyone that's involved with it, with the exception of the lawyer who Attorney Cordone's been working with, but
So
can you
the
give us a
applicant,
rundown?
sure, the applicant and their representatives are gathering items to answer commissioners and staff questions. They were not ready with those answers by this meeting, and we should see them December 1st.
Did they give a reason why the ample 1 month period was not sufficient for them to answer very simple questions that all other applicants seem to be able to do within the 1 month?
Well, they were not that simple of questions, but they're working on it. They're 75% in, I would estimate. So they're almost there, almost ready.
So I'd prefer this, Richard, rather than having them come in partially. So hopefully next month we'll have everything ready. So.
So through the chair, it's
So
Mark
back
McKeel.
to motion. Go
Mark,
ahead, Mark.
Yes, so just a question. How much time is left on this application? It's like we've
We
been
still
extending
have time within next month. We're still good.
So we have to make a determination on this next in December. Otherwise it
that's-
runs out.
Well, this is due to Attorney Cordone. You can tell us the reason we have this extended.
Yeah, so there's, I believe the normal time is 65 days within which to act. And then in addition to that, there's a 65-day other extension period. And then the governor's executive orders give us another 90 days. And I also got the consent I can put on the record with everyone. I emailed, corresponded with the attorney, and he said that they were requesting the continuance and consenting to the extension. So I think we are within the time frame, but I do appreciate asking the question because we want to make sure we are complying and we are okay with the time. So thank you.
Thank you, Mark. No, we had checked on that. So again, I go back to needing a motion for a continuance.
I'll make the
Good luck.
motion for the continuance.
Yeah, I'll
All right.
second it.
Seconded by Mark. Okay. If I can get a hand raised,
Roll call, please.
you want, okay.
So we're continuing
Richard,
to
I
our-
say yes. Carmine,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
John Loria,
Yes.
Richard Deacon,
Abstain.
Tony Silver.
Yes.
Okay, passes 6 yeses and 1 abstention.
And that's a continuation to our next regularly scheduled meeting, December
Yes,
1st.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, let's see here. In a
To the
moment.
chair.
Go ahead, David.
I have to leave at 8 o'clock, so I'm going to exit the meeting at this time. Have a good evening, everyone. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Okay. All right, let's go to work session, I guess. And on application 20-58, do you wish to walk that?
I do.
Okay. I agree, so I think that's definite. How about application 20-63?
I think we should walk that one too.
All right. Let's see, 20-64. We have to
We want to make that.
do a motion for an agent approval on that. So can I get a motion?
Through the chair, I'd like to recommend that application 20-64, Joshua and Christina Buck, be recommended to the agent for agent approval.
All right, and
I'll
a
second that.
second by Mark.
Yes, Mark McKeel.
Okay, let's do the roll call. I say yes. Carmine,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Richard,
Aye.
and Tony.
Yes.
All right. So that's 6 yeses, and so we have that. And then down to application 20-65. We're going to walk that one also?
Why not?
Okay.
We asked them to stake them out, right?
Yep. Now, I am embarrassed because I have to go to Colleen. I don't have my book in front of me for calendar dates. What do we have? Let's see, this is already the 5th. What do we have, like 2 weeks from Tuesday or Thursday? We have to be careful because
Running into Thanksgiving too.
Yeah. with
Tony,
Thanksgiving.
when is
The next meeting is
P&Z?
December 1st. So, I
I
mean,
know, it's close.
it's the week of this November 16th, 17th.
Okay, and Thanksgiving is,
The following week. So you have those couple days in the beginning of the week if you wanted to do it then.
all right, well, I'd be inclined to do like the, like sometime between 16th and 18th. So,
P&Z is the 18th.
all right, then they don't count. We'll just forget about it. All right, so we'll do the 16th. Let's do it.
That's a Monday. Monday, the 16th.
We'll meet at the site at 3. And generally, it's myself, Mark, and I know David always does it because we can't do more than 3. And then Tony, if you want to give Carmine a call, and John, they always do a Saturday walk on their things.
Saturday might be good for me.
Yeah.
All right.
So Richard, we're only allowed 3 because Laura usually wants to be with somebody unless we split the 4 of us up 2 and 2.
Well, we'll see if she's going to participate because again, she did make the meeting, so I'll give her a call and find out what her thoughts are.
Yeah, it would be probably Tony who would be sitting in, right, if we needed a quorum.
Right. All right. Colleen, any correspondence?
No, Richard.
Anything else that has to rightfully come before the commission?
Nope.
All right, and let's see. Well, I'm thinking of it. Any updates on P&Z, Mr. Silver? Anything that will affect us?
I don't think so.
No.
You know, the most recent one, I think we talked about the last one, which was Hardy Lane. And no other agenda item comes to mind that's relevant to this board. I don't know, Attorney Cordone, am I missing something?
All right, for the commissioners that might not know it, but land acquisition made the recommendation to have the town purchase Hardy Lane.
Oh, good.
And it's a tremendous piece of property and would be nice because it kind of forego any immediate development and then the town would be able to control any development, right, Mr. Cordone?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, that is the stated reason.
So
What was that property again, Richard?
I did talk,
it's Hardy Lane. It says you're coming up White Plains and it's like, and you're just starting to glance to the left, you'll see Stop and Shop. It's right on the right side. It's several pieces, actually like
I want
4
to say
or
it's
5.
27 acres, Chairman Gerard.
Yeah,
And I did talk about this, didn't I, our last meeting?
a little bit, but it was,
P&Z
no, I
approved.
don't think so because it
No.
wasn't done yet. Remember, it was
It
kind
was
of.
Trumbull Shopping Park you were talking about, Tony.
Yeah,
All right, well, just a brief update is,
Whatever you call it, please.
go ahead.
just a brief
Tony.
summary is we did, P&Z did vote to, I'm sorry, P&Z voted to recommend that the town council acquire the land. I think it's, I want to say from memory, it's 27-ish acres. And it's land at the foot of Hardy Lane. I think it's 4 parcels. It might be more than that. And it extends down to the valley. It's contiguous with the Valley Park. And I think
And
it's a good strategic acquisition for the town.
It's actually owned by 2 families and
Right.
they actually approached the town, which was nice. So All right, is there anything else that we need to discuss before we go for adjournment?
So
Through the chair.
It's Mark McKeel.
Go ahead, Mark.
So I just, Tatiana, maybe it's more for you. I see they started preparing at Long Hill Market, or I'll still say Marissa's. I see they're starting the rain gardens. I'm wondering if Mr. Soretta has been back in touch with you at all. Unless I draw out the rain garden sign form, I've given him a company that makes them, some verbiage, has he been back in contact with you at all?
I have shared all the information you have provided, Mark.
Tatiana, give him a call and tell him I would like to have him follow through on it, because it was something we helped him with, so.
Okay.
Thank you. And then
Thank you, Mark.
second question.
Yep.
Anything from, I mentioned at the last meeting, the golf course, doing a lot of work in wetland areas. And
I actually spoke with Doug, forgot the last name.
yes, Doug Snyder.
Snyder, thank you.
Sure.
He
that's over my shoulder.
he did not know what I was referring to. He said they have not done any site work, so he was very confused. I have advised him of what the wetland regulations are, and I just asked him to get in touch with me before they do any site work in the future, but he said they haven't done anything, so.
That's all I can ask, Tatiana. Thank you.
All right, Richard, you were about to ask something?
Two things. First of all, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the October.
I was coming to that there, so.
October 6, 2020 regular meeting with the following modification.
Firstly, motion and seconded by? Okay, Mark is seconding it. Go ahead.
Okay, it's a motion to amend the original motion to spell Mr. McKeel's name properly on page 1 under the motion made for application 20-25 by deleting one of the Ks. Other than that, I've found the minutes to be in their usual order, and I'm pleased to recommend their approval.
All right, let's do a hand. Everyone approves. Put your hand up. Okay, we're unanimous. And is there anything else that we need to discuss? Otherwise, I'm going to.
Through the chair.
Almost made it. Go ahead.
We almost got there.
I'll make this one quick. I want to ask Mr. Bova and if Tatiana, if you had a report that I requested on the Lindbergh Drive property with the illegal tent. I have heard unconfirmed reports that additional action has been taken on that property.
Yes, so stopped out there this week. Just to recap, there was a couple things on this one. There was a tent in the rear, a pool, and a gravel driveway. All that was in regulated area. They did remove the pool, temporary structure. The driveway is still there. So zoning has actually permitted 2 temporary structures, and those can stay there for 60 days with extension. So we're going to allow them to have the driveway up until that point, because that driveway now leads to those structures, which are outside of regulated area.
Okay, are they being fined at the current time?
No, not by us, at least.
Okay.
I don't know, last discussion I had with Doug is they're looking to fix the violation he has through them.
Okay. I'd like to keep up on this one. I think the commission should be staying abreast of what's going on, and I appreciate your report. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. Was there another one? Or was that it?
From me, that was all.
Okay.
All right, so we're looking good. Mr. Chin, you've got to give me a mute button that I can. All right. I thank everyone. If there be no objection, I move to adjourn. Thank you all, and we'll see some of you at the walk, and we'll see you next December 1st. Thank you all.
Good night, guys.
Thanks.
Good night.
Thank you, Mr. Chin, and everyone. Have a good night.
Great Thanksgiving.
Good night. Good night.
Yeah, thanks.
Same to you.